Okay.
Okay, we can talk now.
It was so hard to be quiet. I'm like 5 years old. It's
I
scary.
know. It's so weird because when I do it on my own, it plays the music and
Oh,
it mutes the microphone.
please
But
don't be so
I'm
quiet.
I'm also doing it on my own, so I'm not talking to anybody. Anyway. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Universal Connections Oracle Chats. I'm Erin Lee of HeavenLee Messenger, and I'm here with my good friend Bobbi Rowntree, born medium. And today we thought that we would talk about general things, general questions. So we're not going to be doing readings today, but we would absolutely love to hear from you in the comments. Do you have any questions about mediumship or spirituality or angels or intuition or how to live life as a sensitive person? We weren't 100% sure how many people were going to join us today and if you guys would have questions. So I do have a couple lined up. So
See how she looked all sly like that? I don't know what the questions are. Oh, sly little Erin.
I know. Julia, hello. It's wonderful to connect with you today. Hi to Jen and Brianne. It's wonderful to see all of you. We are doing general questions today, so we're not offering readings, but we would love to hear about the questions that you have about mediumship, spirituality, angels, all of those things.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. So, okay, I see that we've got a lot of people popping on. Hello.
It's so wonderful to see you all.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here. It's such a pleasure to connect with you on this Sunday afternoon. The equinox, the spring equinox.
It. Oh,
Yeah.
and the moon is in Virgo.
Now, I don't know a lot about astrology. What does the moon in?
Something you know. I am a Virgo, and I gotta tell you, I haven't ever really had moon stuff until now.
Yeah.
Recently, and it's probably because I'm paying attention to it. But it woke me up last night. It wakes me up like, wow, why is my room so bright?
Yeah.
It's like the moon goes right into my room. So you've been around the moon more than I have.
I've been around the moon a few times, in this physical body. Yeah, no, the moon has had a really significant impact on my life. And I was really grateful to when I did start finding out more information about the cycles of the moon, the energy of the moon. When we lived close to the land and with the land, women's menstrual cycles would follow the cycle of the moon.
Moon blood.
The full moon was like the releasing, the shedding of what no longer serves, what no longer supports. And the new moon was the time when we would experience ovulation. So that's why it's such a powerful time for manifestation, for new beginnings. And when we do work with the moon, typically we'll focus on releasing at the full moon and planting seeds with the energy of the new moon.
So would you say then quite obvious, no, okay, naturally,
Yep.
ladies actually might need to detoxify and let go of something every month and then bring something new into their life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, good. Janine's a Virgo too. Yes, crazy people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, when I think about the Western approach to our rhythms and cycles as women, oh, she's, on her period, so she's really crazy, or she's just PMSing, so she's really crazy. I mean, I actually see this as being a really powerful time for women, and it's part of the power that we have. If things are in balance in your life, PMS isn't really as much of an issue. I see it as being like stuff is coming up because we can't ignore it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. Like that's starting to point you in the direction and what you need to be working on. And that's huge.
That's agitating you.
Yeah.
Because you haven't dealt with it yet. Yeah, it's just a toughie because for a person like myself, I no longer menstruate because my uterus has been, I was going to say forcibly removed.
Wow.
Awful, doesn't it?
Whoa. Okay.
So, and yeah, and I do feel like less of a woman, but I do believe I am still like, I know when my girls are menstruating.
Yeah.
I want chocolate.
Right.
I'm still linked in with them
Interesting.
entirely because they live with other humans now and things like that. That's a thing that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When they live together, they link up.
Yeah.
What the devil is that all about?
Oh my goodness. I
Oh,
actually, when I was going to school, when I was going to university, I had two really good friends, and our cycles synced up, and it was brutal
oh
for the
yeah.
people around us and for ourselves. Because at that point, we were experiencing the stresses of university. The two of them were parents as well. So, like, there was so much that was coming at them at the same time. Yeah, it was definitely challenging because we weren't aware and we didn't know. But
Now we know. Well, we kind
yeah.
of know. I don't even think we know personal things. Okay,
Yeah.
now, do you want
Let's
to everyone?
let's go through and welcome everyone. So let's start at the beginning. So Julia, hello, and Jen, Rianne, pardon me, not Rianne, Brianne. My
Yeah.
apologies.
That's all right. I speak for Brianne. No, no. Sorry.
Hello, Carrie and JC and Janine and another Carrie, Donna, Jerry. Hello, it's wonderful to see all of you. We've got Brenda and Donna and Jen and Michelle and Julia and Carrie and Chris and Kim. I think that I've gotten everybody. Hi, thank you all so much for joining us today.
Everyone. Okay, okay. Do you want to go in order of appearance?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to take a look and see where we have. Ooh, we've got Jen here. Okay, so Jen's asking, do all of your animals watch over you and meet up with you in the afterlife?
As far as I know, yeah. And when you're not there, your other loved ones that are already over there take care of them. Like my dad says, no more dogs. But that's what you get for dying so early, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely have experiences. We had a little dog that we got just before I turned 11, and we didn't put her down until I was 28, so she was 18.
Wow.
Yeah, a little angel dog. Her name was Popcorn. And even though we had to put her down like 13 years ago, she still comes up around me and hangs out with me, and she'll leave little balls of like fluff and things different places.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah. Well, she was an impressive dog.
Yeah. And I find cats actually are the biggest visitors.
Oh, interesting. How do cats often visit?
You can just feel a compression on your bed, or you can just kind of feel something, just like when, because they're usually pretty quiet. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing at my cat.
Yeah. Who's there?
Always around me, my Mary. But yeah, it's the and every now and again, I can't tell because I always have a cat. So when I lose a cat, I still have a cat, but the purring noise. Because it's slow. But yeah, they visit and they're up there, and our loved ones take care of them for us. Yeah. So if you sent one, Jen, your daddy's taking care.
Yeah. Beautiful. Awesome. Thanks, Jen. That was a fabulous question.
Oh, Donna. I have to poop all the time.
Yeah.
The house selling thing. Yeah. That's because I did the house selling thing. I tried to do all the little spells and stuff.
Yeah.
A picture of the house on my refrigerator. I actually even took a representation of the house and let it go down a river. The whole nothing worked. It sold when it was meant to the right person who was supposed to have it.
So, do you think that there are things that you can do to help invite the right person in?
I would think so, wouldn't you? I think with everything in life, there's always something you can do to speed along the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you do to sell the house?
Well, I love doing energy work and manifestation work. And, one of the ways that I like to manifest things happening in my life, if it has to do with somebody else, I ask that they have the resources that they need in order to make the changes. So, for example, if you were trying to sell your home, I would connect with God, source, angels, universe, whoever your belief system is, and say, I'm ready to move on. I have like cut ties and I'm ready to release this property to whoever is going to fit it best, whoever needs it. And I ask that they have the resources that they need to make the purchase so that we can all move on.
Yes, that's actually quite perfect, isn't it? That's an excellent idea, because I actually get told to tell people to do that when looking for love.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that too.
And settle down. Work and send out the messages that you want him to get ready too.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
ready.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I think we need to recognize that free will is at play in this too. And so there's more than one option, in the same way that there's more than one option with a home buyer.
Yeah, because your house is an energy. The house I tried to sell, some people actually walked in and were repelled immediately.
Interesting.
I believe it's because of what I did for a living in the house.
Right.
I believe that energy. But then the right person, one of my yoga students, she walked in and said, "Oh, my home.
Perfect.
Here. It's a feeling that I like." And so, yeah, I guess it's right energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but I named my house recently.
Oh, the one that you're in right now?
And I named it because there's a belief in my head that it is an entity in and of itself, because so much life has happened in it. Cool. So I gave it its own name, so it can protect itself as much as it protects the family, so it can be all part of it. So you might want to name your house George and say, "Hey, George, see you later, George. Why don't you find your place, George?" And ask the house to help, maybe. I don't know. I know that sounds cuckoo, but when you house.
No, that's a fabulous idea, because you're right. Like, there is energy in the space that we occupy, in the buildings that we're in. You want to have somebody who fits with that energy and vice versa. I hadn't even considered that. I love that idea.
And Esmeralda is the name of my house.
Ooh, perfect. That's a perfect witchy name.
That's a really cool question. Did you read JC's question?
I haven't yet. You go ahead. What's JC asking?
Please tell me what it means when you feel raindrops when you are inside on your arms.
Cool. Do you want to tackle?
Amazing.
Yeah. Do you want to tackle that one, or should I?
You go right ahead, because I've never felt raindrops on my arms.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, that's one of the ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. That's a form of clairsentience, having like physical sensation. Often when people talk about physical sensation, they think about like pain, like I've got neck pain because you've got neck pain. But I would see that as a message, and I would ask more about it while you're feeling it and experiencing it, because it is something that's trying to get your attention. So if you think about it as like a child, as a parent, a child who's like pulling at your arm, trying to get your attention, you won't necessarily know what they need or what they want until you ask. And so that's a really great time to do that. But, just kind of off the top of my head, some general things that could mean, that could have to do with clearing, that could have to do with, reminding you of somebody or an event that you experienced while you were out in the rain. Like when I feel it, it feels very light, and I'm feeling it particularly like on my arms, and it's feeling like a welcoming, it feels welcoming to me. Yeah.
Could it be a healer person-y thing too?
It certainly could be. What's coming up for you?
Well, they always show it to me. Well, I just did a video this morning on how your body talks to your mind through your soul, talks to your mind through your body. Yeah. So when your mind isn't picking up what's getting laid down, your body says, "Okay, fine, I'll tell them." And most of the time when people go, "Oh, I'm sick, I heard something wrong," they don't realize it's actually just your body saying, "Hey, pay attention over here." So I think, and when it's arms like this, and I think, well, you get it, because you're healer people.
Right.
You're a Reiki master. You actually allow the energy to come, because I think the energy starts here. That's my opinion, between your shoulder blades where your wings come out, and it will travel down here. And if you're not answering it, I actually even wonder, JC, if you have sore hands.
Oh, beautiful.
Sore hands or sore wrists, because they're not answering the energy and have to do that.
And allowing it to flow. Well, it's really interesting what you say about the energy coming like from like the back with the wings, because the way that I see it coming into the body is through the top of the head, and it comes down into the heart, and it comes up through the feet and into the heart, and it expands out from the heart like from your shoulders down. So, I mean, like to me, that's the same general area that
you're just being better about it. Saying it way better. As you tend to, I have you. I would just said.
No, I think
you're right. You're absolutely right. That's exactly it. Through your crown chakra, through your feet, through the ground, and everything coming up and actually comes out your back because your heart's right here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and when stuff comes up on your back, it's the old stuff that's waiting to be released too. Pardon me?
Because it's behind you?
It's behind you, and also because it served as a protection. It's kind of like a turtle shell. And it serves as a bit of a protection for you. So yeah, that's part of the reason that we hold stuff on our back. And so if you've got healing energy going out your back, that says to me that while you're doing whatever is present and in front of you, you're also working on whatever's going on, whatever protection's there.
Because every time we work, I gain every time I'm with a client.
Yeah.
I get a little more psychic. I get a little more insight into the world. I get a little more empathy. I get,
yeah, absolutely. Now, do you ever receive messages in different ways when you work with different people?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Depending on the person, things will. Yeah. It really does depend on the human being.
Yeah. I can often tell a lot about a person just by the way that I'm receiving messages for them.
Yes, because sorry,
no, go ahead.
Spirit guides, I find, take on different types of the person, different parts of the person's personality. Mm-hmm. Well, if a spirit guide that says something, I'll look at them and go, "You must be the type of person that tells people what you think." What spirit guide just said. Your spirit guides will talk to you the way you talk to other people.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Funny the way you communicate. You're such a group. You're such a one. Yeah, you're such a crowd.
That is so fascinating. Like, as somebody who doesn't really work with spirit guides for other people, I work with like the angels and stuff, and they're angels. They don't change their personalities.
Yeah, they're too cool. They're in the VIP room. The rest of us are out in the bar.
But they're also like waiting for you to come up into the VIP room because the gate that's there is only in your mind.
Yes. Or you might need to do some things with your mind in order to get your butt into the VIP room. I'm hoping we're working on the VIP room right now.
We're all working on the VIP room.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Well, that was a really cool question and experience. I'm grateful for that, JC and Donna as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me see. And Janine saying that she's Virgo. We've got Jerry here. A life for a psychic that is a Gemini. What is your take on that besides being crazy?
I'm really glad I'm not a Gemini. Can you imagine it being worse?
And again, like astrology is not my big thing, so I don't think that I could speak to the Gemini aspect.
Yeah, only what we know of Geminis.
Yeah,
the breaking off into two, and I would think that it could be really fortuitous. So you can actually get your one persona and the other persona. Mm-hmm. I actually have referred to Bobbi.
Interesting.
Because when I'm doing my readings, I am still Bobbi, but I'm not Bobbi. Because you're not coming to Bobbi for advice. You're coming to the people that talk in Bobbi's head for advice. So what I am that person who oh my gosh, I just heard in my head, I'm the Oracle when I'm not Bobbi. Oh, barf. But this is kind of true. Sorry, I mean, barf, guys, but come on.
That's really interesting that you say that, because it sounds and feels like part of you kind of steps aside in order to channel and to bring through.
Because I have strong opinions. I think I know things. So I need to get her to get the heck out of the way so I can hear the dead properly, or I can hear spirit guides, because I deal with minds a lot, not spirit guides, but dead. Yeah. And you can get very confused if you don't pull yourself out of the situation.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to hear it from me. They want to hear from their dad. Okay.
That's so incredibly interesting, because for me, like, I am totally present and here, like I'm open. And so like a part of me, I suppose, will step back, but I don't see myself like stepping out in order to receive messages.
And I believe that's because you work with higher powers.
It could be because they're really simple and straightforward.
Yeah, and you don't have to protect yourself in any way, shape, or form from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not all dead people are lovely.
Yeah, yeah, I can certainly see that.
But all people are lovely. So
Yeah.
yeah, and the things that come with them and blah, 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 there's lots of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to address one of the things that Jerry said here. I think that's really interesting. What is your take on that, besides being crazy, like the psychic, besides being crazy? And, you know, when we fully and completely like connect and leave the physical world behind, we start to lose touch with the reality if we stay up there for too long. And
Yes.
so for me, that's been one of the reasons it's always been really important to make sure that I continue to have a physical life, right? Because it is, I believe that it is one of the reasons that we're here, is to have the physical life experiences.
Yes.
And that if we just kind of stay up in the ethers, that we're not actually fulfilling the soul or the spirit purpose in being here. And that's one of the things that helps to keep a person sane, is actually the grounding in the physical world and the physical reality.
Yeah, you absolutely must be grounded. And I get the crazy idea, because I always actually say I get in my cuckoo. Because my cuckoo can see more than my reality lady. So, but yeah, I agree. You must be absolutely grounded. But yeah, sometimes let my cuckoo fly so I can actually see all the things. So Bobbi doesn't get in the way and go, they did not exist.
Oh my gosh, the imagery that I have of you is like floating up and like flying over the world and then flying up over the bigger energies. That's fun.
That's what I love to do. Okay, yeah. Okay, do you want to? I like, not that I don't like any other. I like what Julia's asking, because I think it's a question that so many people could look into or to wonder about, because it's one of the biggest things, I think. It's one of the biggest hurdles for people, how to begin.
Yeah.
How to even figure out if there is something about you. Just know there's something about you. Everyone has something.
Yeah.
Everybody has something. So, yeah, how to begin. What did you do to begin?
I didn't have a choice. It just kept smacking me and smacking me and smacking me. Yeah. And, like for me, I would say self-awareness is one of the biggest things that you can do to get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
And self-awareness is how I function. I can't function without it. If I'm not, then everything starts falling apart. It's not just some like woo-woo new agey thing. It's kind of what you have to do. It's survival.
How they say it in my head all the time, charity begins at home.
Ooh, beautiful.
So you take care of yourself first, and then you gotta clean up your own house before you go clean up anybody else's. And that for me is meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation. It's absolutely, and even if you're not going to meditate for being a psychic, just meditate to be a better you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all in order, because you have to. Can you imagine if you ran a business and you had all these shareholders, and never once did you ever meet to figure out if you're all on the same page? Everyone just went, we're all going to sell paper. I don't know why we're selling paper. Probably because of the office. But anyway.
I was just going to say the office is probably sitting in there.
Yellow paper, white paper, probably. Something, because I'm in my office and I just did my taxes in there. So,
so it sounds like we need to clear out that energy.
We're going to smudge after we take them to the account. I want that energy gone. Anyway, yeah, I don't even know what I was talking about.
You're talking about owning and running a business and the shareholders and selling paper.
If they don't meet, then they don't know how to run the business.
Yeah.
You got to meet with you, because you are like a business. You are like a building. You are so many things. And yeah.
There isn't an easy way around it. There isn't a way to like skip over it.
No,
you just you have to do.
You don't wake up one day and you can see, because you actually could see. You just don't know how you can see. And actually, you got to wake up one day and show yourself how you are psychic.
Yeah,
and it takes a long time. And then you have to keep going, and keep going, and keep going. It's constant. Don't you find it's constant?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
But you know what? I don't see it as being constant in like a drudgery.
No, wonderful
I
constant.
see it as a, yeah, as a constant in wow, like
Yeah,
this is amazing.
yeah, you figured this out. Now look at this. Now look at that.
Yeah.
Now look at
Yeah.
this. I don't know for with you, with me, they point me towards things in life.
Mm-hmm.
Or to learn those things. And then I like right now I'm learning history.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that would be very metaphysical, but it's very, very, very
It is. It's very metaphysical.
oh my God, is it
Absolutely.
ever? We can't figure out where we're going until we figured out where we've been.
Yeah.
And I want to figure out where we're going. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
Julia, meditate. Get to
Yes.
know yourself, learn your chakras.
Yeah.
Maybe you do some yoga.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, you know, like alternatively, if you're wanting to develop intuition, learn more about what intuition looks like.
Mm,
How are you already receiving messages and information? Because we do. It's just a matter of acknowledging that, oh, yeah, that's a clairsentience experience. And that's what it is. Oh, okay. I'm going to develop more of that.
and everyone sees things differently. And I think that's why it's so groovy that you and I are doing this, because you and I accept information differently. Accept information. I've never said it like that, but I get that. I like that. Yeah, you bring it in one way and I bring it in another, and I'll see it like this and you'll see it like that, but we're both saying the same darn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
So
just coming from different pathways, which I
yeah,
think is really exciting.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine for your parents, yikes. Together, you yeah, like we were co-parenting. We were lesbians and we have babies.
Co-parenting for sure.
Yes, I'd be the tough one.
Would we be like co-parenting our universal connectors?
Yes, we're co-parenting our universal connectors. I think more of the co-guiding or yeah, or opening up doors and go, look,
Encouraging or co-cheerleading. Yeah.
cheerleading. Yes, yeah, yeah. It's almost like we're standing somewhere. We're trying to tell everyone how to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Cool.
I like that one too. We're not standing anywhere too high.
No.
Right. Oh,
No.
Carrie, get that too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Carrie's asking, tell me more about third eye tingling and protection from others' negative energy. I set boundaries, but sometimes I still attract negative energy and feel it deeply.
Yes. Well, you're very sensitive, Carrie. And that's why this happens, because you feel what other people are feeling before they even know they felt it.
Yeah.
That's a crappy thing about being clairsentient.
Yeah.
But you can stop yourself.
But absolutely. I mean, like boundaries are definitely one thing. I like to do shielding work as well. The more that you raise your energy and vibration, it doesn't matter what, you know, other energies are around you. As long as you're keeping your energy up, then it can't stick to you.
Yeah,
Like
that's true. Yeah.
When I'm teaching new students, particularly students who are clairsentient, so means clear feeling or empathic, like they pick up on other people's stuff, one of the things that they come to me, they say, Erin, I am really uncomfortable with being in other people's energy, doing energy work. How do I make sure that I'm not taking on their stuff?
Mm.
And the answer is, if you are properly channeling energy, your energy is always going to be higher than, or vibrating faster. I don't like the idea of higher and lower, because to me that brings in like hierarchy and better and worse. But you're just vibrating faster. And so slower energies just can't catch up with you. Like if you think about running a race with somebody and you're running 15 kilometers an hour, obviously you're amazing. But they're only running 2 kilometers an hour. They're not going to catch up with you. It doesn't matter what they're doing.
We're all going to the same place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You have to be grounded. Yeah, and have the shielding and stuff, like when we have to go into grocery stores or funerals. Yep. I will avoid a funeral like the plague.
Well, as a medium, I can certainly see that. Yeah.
Sometimes it's good. I remember actually going to a funeral once and watching the man who had died dance next to his coffin, having the greatest time. And anyone who knew him, like in the bar that I worked at,
yeah,
he was still having a great time. And I was watching, looking at everyone crying, going, but he's dancing. None of you are seeing that he's dancing. Yeah. Stop dancing like this, Stan. But that's why I don't go. It's the mourners. It's not the dead person. The dead person's like, I'm at a party and none of you came. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing. And you're like, you didn't get invited to the party.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's why I shield myself. It's the humans, not the deads. Not that dead people aren't human anymore, but they are. So
Yeah.
I gotta stop doing readings before we do this because my head.
Yeah. One last thing that I would say for Carrie and protection is create rules for yourself. As soon as you recognize that something is bringing you down, recognize one, this isn't yours and
Yeah.
it's not of you. And so as a result, it can't be part of you. If it's not yours, then it has to go. Make that one of your rules.
Sometimes move to the positive. I know
Yeah.
when people piss me off, I can immediately, because I have a really, really bad temper, but I can go and then take it to the upper part of things because I know if I wish something ill upon somebody, it's just going to slap me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take it up into angelics because they're God's army in my head.
Absolutely.
If I'm not done, I go to the angels.
Yeah.
If I'm, I go to your spirit guides.
Well, and that's really interesting because part of what I'm hearing is you're saying that is you're describing like your response to something that's negative that's coming in.
Yes, and I'm saying that in relation to Carrie to a certain extent because I think we're similar in that kind of way.
Absolutely. But like if we're looking like just at the experience of absorbing negativity and what you can do, as soon as you recognize it's not yours, it has to go, then there shouldn't be that human response.
True, yes. But I understand. Sometimes it ignites something within you.
For sure.
It brings you to that point of fear.
For sure.
That's all that is. It's just fear.
Yeah.
You need not fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I like Chris's question is now, what do you think? That is a good question. When you see something, do you see it like a TV screen? Do you see it like something playing out? It does depend on what it is, don't you find?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how do you experience visual cues?
Well, visual cues, I will see in my mind a lot.
Yeah.
I will see them like a TV screen or like a little movie or vignette being played out. But sometimes they'll actually show me things right there. Like the dead will sometimes appear right there. And then sometimes they're like a little Barbie inside my head.
Yeah.
Or in my lap.
Yeah.
I don't get in my lap quite as my
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty similar. For myself, I don't have like a TV screen or a movie screen that things play on. But one of the messages that I have received for people in the past as they're trying to identify receiving visual messages, whether it's like their imagination or whether it's coming from source and spirit, is I do see them asking that it be put in like a box with like a gold frame around it so that they can immediately identify and differentiate between what's their imagination. And this is particularly true for people who have really vivid imaginations.
Okie dokie. And actually, what I actually hear in my head right now is that imagination could be telling you something.
Yeah.
Because sometimes actually the thing that you're imagining is part of the way your brain is telling you what the reality is. You just have to look at it from there. Like when they say, Bobbi, look into history. They're not actually really, they're saying look into history, but they're saying get more earthly knowledge, woman, because that's what you do to me. So I love it. Thank goodness. Okie dokie. But
awesome. Thanks, Chris. That was a fabulous question.
Yeah, sometimes it is bright and smudgy. Sometimes it just depends on who's giving the message to you.
Yeah. Oh, Brianne is just here. Brianna, thank you. I appreciate that because I
She's like, I know it was okay. That was nice.
Yeah, and Jerry's popping in here. I'm going back to talking about cats, like our pets who have crossed over. Your live cat, and they will tell you when the spirit cat shows up. Absolutely.
Oh, yes, I've heard this. Yes, they get upset sometimes. Yeah, that is true because cats see things we don't.
Yeah, same with dogs. Like if you see them staring off at something or they're concerned about something, there is something there for sure.
Yeah, babies do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're over at the dead people going, remember me? Because your dead people hang out with your babies. Yeah.
Yeah, they do before they come. Oh, and after they arrive too. I Yeah, I often see like grandparents who have crossed over, holding the babies before they come in, and I get lots of, we're taking care of.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. You actually have the husk and the and they have the soul. And then that's why babies come out going, they see a picture of a grandparent that's been long dead and go, Papa, or something like that, because they actually knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've told you my dad's story. We can tell that another time.
No, let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. That feels like a really good one.
Okay. Well, I was in the car. And everyone knows my dad died when I was 13 years old. When I had my first daughter, she was less than 3 months old. I looked over at her in the car and she went, oh, yeah. And that's exactly what my father would teach my kid. Exactly. He actually would have added words like mommy, something like that. I couldn't speak, obviously. But just the fact that she raspberried and fingered me at the same time, I was just like, wow, hi, Dad.
Yeah, at 3 months old. That's impressive. I've never heard that story. That's awesome.
On the rear facing car seat.
Yeah. That's funny.
The neck. Anyway, yeah. So that's what they do. It's I was just gonna say it's so great my dad is dead. Well, I did say that, but it's very helpful that I have someone so close to me that did not go over there knowing this whatsoever, who is learning this along with me and helping me with it. And it's tremendous. It really is. And I know that sounds awful and crass, and I'm sorry if it does.
You know what? That sounds like a lot of resilience to me. I can't imagine a person losing a parent at the age of 13 where they had like a loving, healthy relationship. I can't imagine like the pain and the grief that would be there, but then to be able to see, like have transformed that into, wow, this is actually really positive and amazing.
Yeah, because I get to see him and I get to speak with him. And honestly, a huge part of that is that there's nothing in me that says I'm not. And if I even for a second say that's not you, I might as well slap my dad. And I'm not allowed to slap my dad. Yeah, well, it's not that kind of dad. So yeah. So Kim, you know who you are, Kim Two M's. Try the same with your mommy. Just know she's there and she will be. Okay. I know we're not doing readings, but I just wanted to tell Kim that because
awesome.
My dad came up for a reason, dadgummit.
Awesome. Love it. I love it. All right. So we've got Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Good question.
Pardon?
This is such a you question.
Yeah, I only kind of skimmed through it and I saw the Reiki part. So like I'm seeing the beginning as I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for you ladies. I have recently started doing energy work. Yay. And when I apply it to myself, Reiki, my body starts moving in circles back and forth and in ways with my hands that I don't control. Is this bad or good? What are your thoughts? Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing that's wrong with that. That can be that you are channeling the energy through your body when you receive Reiki energy. And when you give it and share it to somebody else, like you receive a full-on Reiki treatment and session because that energy is channeling through you and you receive the benefit of that. And when you give it to somebody else, then it's leaving your body. But what you're doing when you do self-care Reiki for yourself is you're taking all of that energy that you're already feeling and experiencing and you're giving it back to yourself. So you're like double whammy because you're receiving all of that powerful energy all over again. So, it's not necessarily something that everybody experiences, but it's certainly not something bad. It just means that you're receiving even more of the good stuff that you receive when you give to somebody else. So I see that as being something that's really powerful. That feels like that's a really amazing experience. Yeah. On an intuitive, energetic level, how does that feel for you, Bobbi?
I would agree. And actually what I hear in my head because this is your forte completely and absolutely, I hear that she creates a vortex.
Cool.
So when you get the wind coming from one way and the wind coming from another way, you create, and then within the eye of the storm, that's where that power I see. Like I can see her looking at it and going, okay, loving the chaos. Let's see the middle of the chaos and pull it out.
Interesting. Yeah, because, basically, the way that we approach energy healing with Reiki is with the understanding that everybody receives universal life force energy because we're all alive. And so if you think about like internet connections, imagine that everybody in the world has dial-up internet. But then as you attune to new Reiki levels and as you do your own energy work, you're broadening what you receive. So suddenly you've got cable internet and you've got DSL and whatever it is that we're at now. I've so dated myself with this reference, but
shush your young mouth, young lady.
but that's what happens is you're expanding that. So when you're talking about vortex, when basically when we attune to the first level, we take your channel, it's kind of like this and it's expanded to like this, and then in second level it's like this, and third level it's like this, and when you get to master level it's like big and huge. So when you're talking about seeing being in the middle of the vortex, what I would say to that is that this is what you're actually doing is you're strengthening the channel through which you receive Reiki energy, and it is expanding, and it's just having that physical.
So the vortex is actually the avenue of the information.
Yeah, or the energy, yeah.
Because it's the quiet in the chaos. Really neat, Ashley.
Yeah, that is really cool. I'm so glad that you asked about that, Ashley, and I'm so excited about where you are on this experience too. Because you're receiving so much energy, make sure that you're grounding. Grounding is really, really, really important, not only to like balance yourself, but also anything we do on that energetic level, we need to ground into the physical reality. So if you're doing big energetic work, then you need to ground big to bring it into the physical.
Yeah, I actually, and also listening to, reading that, it reminded me of the fact that I can't sit still when we do this. I have tried, and I know it's super distracting, but my body keeps moving in a circle.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to. It's really hard. So I think it's the same sort of thing because I've done readings all day long. We get into this and I want to get the as perfectly as I possibly can. So I move and I can't help it. Yeah. I know it's distracting. I apologize for how much I move, you guys. I really do. Yeah, I think it's a similar sort of thing. So maybe I got a ground.
I think you do. Yeah. I mean, I think about the high after doing readings at like a spirit fair or something where you're boom, 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 and you have to ground after. You would, I imagine, be in a similar place right now, having already been connected.
I actually know a very experienced psychic. We both know who you would. I've seen her in the middle of spirit fairs go, I gotta go reground because she became ungrounded by the work that she was doing. And I don't know if you remember. I actually used to have a really big problem with throwing up. I used to actually always have to put my table right by the bathroom.
I remember that, yeah.
Because certain people make me sick. No, they don't make me sick. They make me and then, yeah. Thank you, Lucia Brody.
Yeah.
Always in the bathroom with me, the poor woman. She has rubbed my back while I vomited more times than she should have.
Oh, that's so lovely.
About me, thank you very much.
Awesome. So we've got Manuela here, and she's asking about her granddaughter being as sensitive. And you know what? I think we're not doing readings today, but we could talk about this in a general way.
Yes.
How to support a child in your life who is sensitive. What do you think?
Well, it really depends on their age.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on where they're at with the whole hormone-y thing of puberty. And I tend to not like to read people who are under 12.
Right.
I find it's very overwhelming. I read a girl once who was 9 who lost her father, and I swore I'd never do it again.
Mm-hmm.
It did not work. She was too young to understand. Yeah. They're too young to understand. And you can't present such a fanciful ideology to a child because they can't figure it out. What is better actually is to bind their powers to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. They always show it to me, like actually the binding of the feet, red ribbon going around the feet. So to me, that is rooting them, making them feel they're here, they're earthly human beings, and they might have something that's special and wonderful, and that's great, but we're going to leave it till we're 25.
Right.
Till we're 25. Sometimes it's too much. Mine was too much. Mine was insane. Absolutely insane. But what helped me is that they just said, go over there and rock and be quiet and tell them to go away.
Right.
It was never acknowledged as something I should look into. It was more acknowledged as something that is there. We understand it's there, and you need to tell them they're not allowed here right now. And it did increasingly get worse, obviously, but that was just because they were like, yeah, you're not getting away, Bobbi. Doing this shit, lady.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and you know, for me, I would go at it a slightly different way. I would definitely create like boundaries and safe space. And one of the things I would do is I would call on my helpers and I would say, you know, like instead of binding, I'm going to filter what comes through so that it's age appropriate.
All over them.
Yeah, and put the boundaries up for them. And then, you know, and part of the reason that I say this is because so many people that I connect with who are wanting to open up are people who had to shut it down when they were younger. Yeah. And so they are now having kids and they're like, I don't want them to go through what I had to go through. How can I help and support? So that's.
Yeah, I agree. Don't shut it down, but be careful of the age and things.
Absolutely.
Fanciful. And, you know, and at the same time, I remember being 7, 8 years old, and my grandmother used to chat with me until I fell asleep every night.
Yeah.
And I told my friends, and then I told them, well, she died when I was 7. I didn't know it was weird. I didn't know it was different. My family just always, okay, Google. On everything, Google. So you can, you know, say, but there's so much out there, and it's so fun because we come from such different perspectives. Yeah. Depends on actually what's bugging the child.
Yeah.
It could be an angelic presence, or it could be the grandmother, or it could be some nasty, horrible, low-lying demonic thing.
Yeah.
That sees a sweet little innocent thing and tries to scare the devil out of them all the time to feed.
Yeah.
That's the way it's shown to me. So yeah, angels, you're right. Angels, put angels all around that baby.
Protection, because absolutely. For me, that's where rules come up. I talk about that a lot, but yeah, I've got rules in how I receive and who I'll receive messages from and stuff like that. And there's absolutely no reason that you can't do the same for a child as well, particularly as like a parent or a guardian. This is what you're energetically do to keep your kids safe. So.
Yes, you're so much better at setting the rules than I
am. Oh, dear. Awesome. Oh, Sydney's loving you, Bobbi. That's awesome.
That lovely young lady.
Thanks for joining us, Sydney. Okay, yeah. So Jerry's asking angel wings when you feel pressure touching between the shoulder blades.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you know, incarnated angels will definitely have angel wings. So
and I see mine as fairy wings.
Yes. Yeah.
It's beautiful purple and blues, and I would wear them on the stage. I was queen.
I love it. And you would switch from place to place.
Oh, I would have it so like and they go.
That kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know if this is X-Men or what it is, but somebody, he's got like the wings in his back and they just
Angel. He's actually called Angel. He is an X-Men. Yes. There's also Courtney Act, the drag queen, who actually wore wings on the main stage. Anyone who's a Drag Race fan will always know this. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I love how we go from X-Men and angels into drag queen. Like,
well, because they're all relevant.
Absolutely.
You don't have to
let me see. All right. So we've got
ask.
Sorry?
Her mom probably told her to ask, or I was just telling him she didn't need to say sorry. Her mom probably ask about me.
Absolutely. Yeah. What is it called when you hear someone call your name or says someone or said something when you're alone?
What is it called?
What is it called when you hear someone call your name or says something while you're alone, when you're alone?
Oh, I don't really call it. I just call it a message myself. But
it's called clairaudience, and it means
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clear audience. See, you're hearing.
Yeah, that's right. So when you receive any form of auditory message, whether it's like hearing somebody call your name or hearing like a voice in your head that's either yours or something from outside of you, or you hear song lyrics, like you hear a song that triggers something for you, all of those are examples of clairaudience,
Yeah,
which
and
is,
from so many different places.
yeah, it does. It comes through from lots of different places.
And the angels ever talk in ears? I know the dead do. They
Yeah,
do.
they,
Do they
they,
sound like flap, 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 flap? Or
no. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say no. I should just say that I have never experienced angels in that way.
that doesn't mean
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You know,
no, for sure. Probably one of my biggest angel auditory experiences was when I was just about to be in a car accident, and I heard this stop. And what it was I was sitting at a light that was green. I was in the intersection to make a left-hand turn. You know
mhm.
how you pull into the intersection when you're making a left-hand turn, you wait for all of the traffic to go, and the light had turned yellow, and I was about to make the turn, and the bus coming in the opposite direction ran the light. And so I heard stop. And at 17 years old, if you're in the middle of the intersection, you've got to go. But no, I didn't. So
Oh,
yeah.
thank God you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, thank the angels
Yeah,
you
thank the angels. Yeah.
see, and that's pretty amazing because as far as I've ever been told, they do not intervene unless needed or asked.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah, and or if something is life threatening that it shouldn't be.
okie dokie.
Right? Because they can intervene if something is about to happen that shouldn't, that will have dire consequences.
Okay. So
Mm.
once I actually was pulled out of a car accident that I watched
Mhm.
to my dad
Yeah.
because I was saying, Dad, help me. Dad. I was stupid. I got into the car with a drunk driver.
Mhm.
My dad had just died. I was a mess. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I actually watched the truck roll from the air.
Yeah.
It was very strange. And all of a sudden, boom, I was in World of Pain.
Yeah.
I was the only little person in that truck. Everybody else was a very large male person. And I
Yeah.
just got smashed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's
Wow.
so weird because I've never
Mhm.
actually thought of it as angelic. I thought
Mhm.
it was my dad. But there's no way my dad would have had that kind of power back then.
Mhm.
Brand new dead person.
So there are kind of two ways that I go with that. One, absolutely, that could have been angels, but I go to Mama Bear's strength too, right? Like how would a woman have the strength to lift a car off of their child? But
Yeah.
it happens, and I could certainly see that that could happen on the other side as well, potentially.
So you think I pulled myself out?
You may have.
Oh, look at
You
me.
may have. But yeah, that is definitely the type of thing that angels do as well. You'll often hear of really bad car accidents where a child is flung free from the car accident and basically has no injuries compared to what it should have been had they remained in the vehicle. So, angels do definitely interfere on that level for sure.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, yes, you are correct.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And right.
Detlef is saying healing energy is always coming in where it is needed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. So we've got Arlene here, wondering if you feel anyone, for me. Oh, I constantly hear the same song over and over, and I think it's connected to someone that passed when I was young, but I don't know if it can be confirmed or if it's my imagination. Oh, that's
We
a
were
tricky
just
one.
talking about that before we came on.
Yeah.
Because now we're gonna party like it's 1999 in my head.
Right. Right. So
What?
we're doing more general questions, but I think that there's a way that we can answer that to help Arlene come to
Oh,
confirmation for herself.
absolutely, because
Yeah.
it is a general answer almost.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
music is very much a way of communication for those folks.
Mhm.
So you tell it.
Yeah.
'Cause we're probably gonna tell the same thing. That's my thinking. I'm thinking I could be wrong.
Okay, so you almost wanna do it, like, at the same time? No, that would be confusing.
It'd be confusing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is really easy for spirit, for angels, for people who have crossed over to deliver messages through music. So either you're thinking about something and then the lyrics pop into your head, or a song comes on the radio. I mean, it's a really easy way for messages to come through.
Yeah, the dead will do that. And I find too that they'll play the same line from the song over and over and over and over in your head.
Right.
And so for myself, it's like the dime. If I find a dime, the first dead person that pops in my head, that's the one I think.
Beautiful.
And I'm sorry if it's not you, you got to get better at this.
That's right.
It's the same thing. My dad is always using songs.
Yeah.
Always using songs. Yeah. Jet. At one point, he was using Jet.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway.
So definitely know that it's not your imagination.
Look around. Think about what you think about when you hear the song. Think about where you start putting correlations between things, because they know you know that you don't know. And you know that you know when you do know.
That's
I know
right.
that didn't make any sense, but it's true. The knowing is such a thing. Okay.
Awesome. Arlene, thanks for joining us. Okay. So Brenda, what does it mean when you smell different smells and not nice aromatic ones? That no one else smells anything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have heard of people who get sensory through the sinuses.
Yeah.
Because the third eye's right there. It's all one big connection thing. I only associate smells with the dead. Because my grandmother's always a smell. My nanny, my mother's mother. She was an Avon lady. So
right, I can see that.
So things to stinky up myself with. Girly things. That's my nanny.
Yeah, and there is actually a specific clair, and I can never remember what it is. There's a clair that has to do with smell, and there's a clair that has to do with taste. And working with angels, I don't typically receive messages that way, but dead loved ones come through with like tobacco smell, or like vanilla and baking, and like tastes and gasoline and oil, and
yeah. And Brenda could be smelling some dead folks, or even when she smells the yucky smells.
Yeah.
Because ghosts, earthbound spirits, they smell.
Oh,
they smell rotting vegetables or moldy or misty. They smell like basements in the prairies. We don't have basements in BC. Right. So when you walk into a basement in the prairies, like, oh yeah, this has been around for a few years. But they actually, and I had one once, and it would waft cold air. And then it would waft the mildewy, fruity, yucky stink. And then it would waft the cold air again. And then you go, oh, what was that?
That is so interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they stink like that. So I think Brenda might be actually noticing earthbounds. And I actually think of that as a sect of mediums. There are those of us who communicate with the rested. There are those of us who can actually get, like, that's their forte, is to sniff out and get rid of earthbounds or send them home. Like a death bill, I guess.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. And I can also see that if you have a lot of earthbound spirit around you, that they could become trapped in some ways in your energy field, and they could create physiological challenges or emotional challenges, or
negative things about people that actually love you and are doing good things for you, or just scare you all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's why they go after children, because they're easy to scare and then they can eat them. Well, they don't eat your children.
Let's say this is starting to sound like a not so friendly fairy tale.
But when you get frightened, they feed off that frightened energy, because it's a negative energy and they're running on the negative. Things like that.
Absolutely.
Carrie Harrison is a Gemini, so she
Geminis are definitely awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're all awesome. Except for Scorpios. No, just kidding. My mom's a Scorpio. That's why I said that.
Awesome. Oh, so Manuela is asking, what does it mean when you feel cobwebs on your face?
On your face, like fuzzy face, or like your face. When you feel cobwebs on your face.
I mean, I don't know that I've specifically experienced that myself, so I'm not sure how relevant and accurate this would be. But to me, like, I think of what it's like when you walk into a cobweb. you know? And for me, that's like a pay attention kind of thing. Like,
oh, I never even thought about it as the walk into a cobweb thing.
yeah.
It could even be the veil, which would be a pay attention thing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
When I was a little girl and the dead would come to visit and I would hear whoosh, like I would hear it like I was going through curtains.
Right.
So I knew, oh no. Here they come, mommy. But yeah, it could actually mean that Manuela is being pulled through the veil a little bit.
Right. Cool. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. So definitely pay attention to what's happening, what's going on.
Be positive too. Super duper 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 positive. Nothing can frighten you. Nothing can scare you. God's on your side. Things like that.
Yeah.
Or think angely like Erin. Sorry, this is you.
This is me.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we've got some Virgos here. Holla to the Virgos in the house.
The spirit realm. Now, do you ever enter the spirit realm?
I don't think I do. I think I kind of pop up over. I really like hanging out with my angels.
Ziggy. Does anyone out there know who Ziggy is? Yeah, because you're with your angels. Actually, you would have to pop down.
Yeah.
You'd be up in the angelic realm going, just a second, go through the trapdoor.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's interesting because as you say that, part of what I see is like a glass floor as opposed to the glass ceiling. And I should probably start looking down and exploring into that area.
Yeah.
So how about for you? How do you access spirit world?
Oh, I just say, hey, I'm ready. Yeah, I actually think it's always right there for me. Mm-hmm. That's why it can be ever so hard for me to be here.
Right.
And present because, when you can hear the party, but you haven't invited yet. But.
It's so funny because as you say that, part of what I see is like a doorway and like you're here and you're there and you're here, like you're kind of straddling.
It's like that flip door that people used to have for kitchens. Flip. Yeah. I get it hits me in the face every now and again. That actually just true.
Awesome. That's an awesome question. Thanks, Detlef.
Yeah, thank you, Detlef. That's an excellent question. And I don't even know if I answered it sufficiently.
Yeah.
I meditate and sit and do my chakras, and that's I'm just always there. Yeah. Hello, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron, and hi to Lorianne.
Hi, Lorianne.
Awesome.
Hey, Lorianne.
Okay, so we've got Jessica here, and she's asking, if possible, I'd love to know how my spirit guides' favorite way to communicate with me so I can pay attention better. So I can better pay attention. I'm still not reading it right, but you guys get the gist. So I think we can put this into a general
we could definitely
conversation. Do you want to tackle it first?
Okay, when it comes to spirit guides, they know you well enough that they're trying to talk to you through you in the ways that they know that you understand. If you're not getting it, all you have to do is just say, hey, dudes, make it a way I understand. Treat me like I'm 7. It's like path it out for them so it's easy for them to just go, oh, okay. So Jessica wants us to do this when we're talking to her, and Jessica sees leaves as being angels and like tell them what to do. I tell mine what to do all the time. And that way we actually are able to communicate. I tell them to do things outside of me as well. Things that are obvious.
Yeah.
And not movie fancy.
Yeah. I was going to say, making sure that you don't create an obstacle course for them. Like, yes, the goal is for it to be as simple and easy and straightforward as possible. And so, like, part of that is that you need to trust. Right? Trust is a really big one. You can't say, give it to me like this, and then say, oh, but that wasn't you.
Yes. Yeah. Don't doubt them.
Yeah.
That's such an easy thing to do. That's ego, though, too. You see, that wasn't you. You're saying, I'm not picking that. You're not talking to me. It's just fear that is saying that it wasn't you. There's something flew in my eye. So yeah, I agree, because I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
I let my ego get in the way with the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are certain dead that I cannot, like my cousin. Oh. He is exactly how he was in life. Rude. He's rude.
Yeah.
Oh.
And one of the other things that you said just before we move forward, basically was like recognizing and acknowledging that you've received the message. So like if somebody calls you and they say, "Can you hear me?" You say yes, right? And so
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
We're
you
both
didn't
so excited.
cut you off because I saw Radar O'Reilly on the phone with Sparky. And I didn't say anything because of that. How many people there have watched MASH?
Oh my gosh.
Because I forget how old I am.
Yeah.
So,
I
you're exactly
did
right.
watch MASH. It was, pardon?
When you're on the phone with somebody and you don't hear them properly, you work really hard to listen in deference to them because you know they're trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay, you go ahead. That's what you're gonna say.
Well, and let them know. So right, if you say, "Show me a sign outside of myself," and you see that sign, thanks guys, or spirit, hey, I get it.
Like, because then you'll get more. Yeah.
Yeah.
My spirits have moved me to tears.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, you guys did that. I'm so amazed. You actually exist. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm crazy. So
And then like if we take the phone conversation idea a little bit further, Bobbi, can you hear me?
yes.
Bobbi, can you hear me? But if you didn't say yes, if you said no, okay, hold on. I need to set that up better. Tell me no. Bobbi, can you hear me? Bobbi, can you hear me? Bobbi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is that is that an effective way to have a conversation? Or would it be better, Bobbi, can you hear me? Now you can say yes.
Yes.
Great. I'm so glad you can hear me. How are you doing today?
I see that moves the conversation a little bit more. Yes. Yes. And you said, Bobbi, can you hear me? And I looked around. So I wasn't answering you in the way that you were expecting. Right. So you thought I wasn't answering you.
That's right.
I just add that on.
Okay. So we'll work on our improv for next time.
We will. Yes. Yes. We'll take some classes.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so Carrie, I think, is probably asking a question here from like raising frequency at higher vibes, so lower level energies fall away. And she's asking about what shielding, because we talked a little bit earlier about that. Yes. Shielding for me is like an energy bubble or protection. Yeah, I like to make mine different colors, like things that maybe go with my outfit for the day, but on an energetic level.
Mine's always pink.
Pink's a great one. I love pink too.
I believe it's the closing of the heart chakra. That's why I believe that mine goes pink. And it just before I watch quality foods.
I love it. Yeah, and I have rules. I know we're shocked by this, but anything that is positive and loving, it can come through my shield. Anything that is negative, what I ask is that it bounce off of my shield, but that it be transmuted into love and it goes back to wherever it came from. Because there is no point in perpetuating a negativity when I can send back love, because there is some sort of healing that is obviously needing to happen, because otherwise there wouldn't be the negativity that's coming. So why don't I send love back to it?
Exactly. Excellent. And because love is so powerful and negativity is ever so not. It's only where we give to it that we pay attention to.
Absolutely. When I used to play with my nephew when he was 4 and he was up visiting, he used to say like, I'm doing all of these things. And I'm like, yeah, love conquers all. And then he didn't want to play with me anymore. So it worked.
He was like, love. We're not in here.
That's not cool, Auntie Erin. Like, do you even have Transformers? No.
Do you even own a Transformer? Yeah. So yeah, shielding is just us shielding ourselves from the negative energies. And I don't allow anything in, because if I allow in positive, then I'm going to get Auntie Fran talking in my head as I'm looking for the produce. So yeah, because Auntie Fran's positive.
Right.
So,
Right.
I don't know if anyone else there is an Annie Fran. I don't know why that came out.
I have an Auntie Fran on the other side.
That's probably why. It's probably your thing, Auntie Fran. That's so funny. You have an Auntie Fran. Wow.
I know, right? Awesome. All right, Miss Bobbi, how are you feeling? Do you think we have the energy to do a couple more? I see that you're really shaking there.
What time is it? Oh my golly. Okay. Yes. You want to do 2 more?
Sure. Let's do it.
But 2 more.
Okay.
All love and yes.
Awesome.
Okay. So do you want to answer and just because I know that thing? You can see it at the corner of your eye, and every time you move, it moves with you because you can't look right at it.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So for everybody, Angie's question, I always think I see something out of the corner of my eye. Why? For me, again, like that's an attention thing. That there's something that's happening to pay attention. There's something else that's there. So keep an eye out.
Yeah. And sometimes dead people will do that. They'll hang out right here. And it might be because that's a rule that they have. Because there's a poop load of rules for the dead.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Poop load. They can't scare you. They're not allowed. They'll get in trouble with the angels if they do that. They can't. There's certain things they're not allowed to do because so many of them want to come back and scare the crap out of you because they said they would.
Right.
They said, I'm gonna come and hunt you.
So what I'm hearing is that from now forward, if you're making pacts with your loved ones that you're going to come back and visit them, you can't scare them. You guys have to decide on something else.
You have to decide on something else and try very hard not to make it, let's say this phrase.
Right.
Because the phrase, you might think it's an easy, simple phrase, but it might not be.
Yeah.
Say, show me green things. Show me bluebirds, something like that. Yeah. Much more wide. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing, Ange. Yeah, that's a thing.
Cool. Awesome. Let me see. Doing one more. Kim's saying that she can't sit still. She rocks all the time. We've got some fun stuff from Ashley. We appreciate you too. Thanks for joining us.
I can't sit still either. Oh, okay, great.
Okay, I think that this is actually a really awesome question to conclude on. Okay. Can you give us some tips on grounding?
I knew you were going to pick that one. That's a good question.
It's a great question. All right, how do you ground?
How do I ground? I say lum over and over again, which is the Sanskrit sound of the root chakra. And then I watch a great big red gem come out of my butt and go into the ground, like I'm drilling for oil. And then I watch roots come out. Because can you imagine? There's a lot to me grounding. I know it's surprising, but yeah, I see tree roots come out. And very often I see the ground within the red. The red I see is blood red. It's probably because that's my favorite red, or it could be that it's part of the ground and my root chakra really, really does need a little bit of work. I agree. I'm sure you're all saying it. It's because you're nuts. But I agree. But okay, so what do you do to ground? Do you just wake up?
Do I just wake up from my angelic nap?
Yes. You just in a full.
I mean, I'm going to try that now because that sounds like a lot of fun. I know you're going to be shocked when I say this, but grounding is also one of my rules. But I mean, there are other things that I do. Sometimes it's a matter of just removing myself from the energy that has things up high. So I like to walk or to get on the earth. I do a lot of visualization as well, and I love seeing my energy going down into the earth like you. And I do imagine the roots, but part of what I see is I see the earth holding my roots. So if you think about pulling like a weed out of the garden and you know how there's like the earth entangled within the roots, I see that earth entangling in my roots,
yes.
and I go right down into the core of the earth. And actually, when you say blood red, I mean, the core of the earth is fire. I wonder if you go down to the same place.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have this thing about the core of the earth.
Do you?
Well, yeah, because Tolkien. I believe in hobbits.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
We can end there.
Well, actually, I've got a couple of other ways that you can ground. I'll go into that really quickly.
Yeah. Tell the folks. Yes.
Yeah. So there are other things that are grounding, anything that brings you back into your body. So things like strength training or like yoga can also be really grounding. Pardon me?
Warrior pose.
Oh, beautiful.
Super grounding pose. Just boom, there I am.
Just bring it into the earth.
It's funny. I looked over there and there's warrior pose.
Oh, I love it.
Anyway. Yeah. I agree. Some people use stones. I know another psychic.
Yep, crystals.
Actually, she always holds a stone. She'll use a grounding stone. Sometimes I will do that as well.
Yep. Yeah, I love obsidian. And it's a fairly new love for me, but it is just so peaceful and calming. So yeah, obsidian is definitely one for me too.
It's so shiny and pretty.
Yeah. Sex can also be another great way to ground yourself too.
Oh, see, and that's the other way around for some of us over here. Use that for more enlightenment.
Well, part of it is that it's bringing you back into your body. Like when you come down, it brings you back into your physical body.
Excellent choice of words.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
It's on here. Yeah, we still got to do the sex show.
Yeah, we do. It is coming.
We should actually even put it out to the folks out here.
Yeah.
Would you like us to do a whole show on sex and psychic energy?
I think that'd be a lot of fun. Let us know in the comments. I know we're about like half hour behind the comments because it takes us a while to get through
behind the comments, so I apologize to everyone.
Well, there's no way that we could go fast enough to catch everybody live.
We could information if that were the case.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you all so much for joining us today. Did you have anything that you wanted to add, Bobbi? I should have asked. She wanted a little while.
I'm just going, don't tell her this because you're answering another question. That's not fair to other people. But okay, the only thing I would want to add is if you want to find the full psychicness of you, or even just the full you and the extra things so that you can get through your life even better than you already have, meditate, possibly start yoga and start doing things for yourself. Be a little bit self-centered, not selfish. Self-centered. Okay, what about you, Erin Lee Harris? Erin Lee Harris. I'm so used to talking to my kids.
I love that I've just become one of your kids.
Yeah. You've been one for a while.
Great. I'm going to come and move home.
I will make you clean.
Okay, I will not be moving home.
Damn.
I don't think I have anything else to add. I feel like I should. But I'm just feeling so much gratitude for everybody being here with us and allowing us to be, off the cuff and fun and silly and connecting. It's
put us all together. Yeah. Because we enjoy it very much. So we want you to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we haven't talked about this yet, so I'm going to put Bobbi on the spot, but I think we're going to be back next Sunday at 3:30. Are we?
We're going to try to be here every Sunday at 3:30. Yeah. We hope you do too.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Absolutely. And one thing that we decided just as we were coming on today, we're not going to stream live to the Universal Connections Facebook page. We're instead going to stream live to the Universal Connections YouTube channel next week. So we will pin a post on the Universal Connections page from one or both of our business pages. So Bobbi is, what is your page.
The page on Facebook, it's Bobbi Rowntree Spiritual Medium.
Okay. And mine is HeavenLee Messenger. A lot of other stuff with Erin Lee.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah. So my HeavenLee Messenger page, and that way we are able to connect with people on YouTube who may not have Facebook pages, that they're able to connect with us this way. So
yeah, because everybody's different.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. We had so much fun. Did you have fun? I had fun.
I had fun. I had a great time.
Everyone had fun. I hope you guys all had fun.
That's great. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you and connecting with you next week. Yes. Shall we do our namaste?
Okie dokie.
All right. Ready.
Namaste. That's where you can see my roots.
I feel like we need to blow a kiss too from the prayer hands.
They do that all the time. They do that all the time.
Oh, I love that. Well, then that's a really great way for us to end. Namaste.
Yeah. Namaste
and angel wings. No. All right. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.